UFC 311, Makhachev versus Tsarukyan 2 takes place this weekend, and I'm going to go through the full card breakdown and in detailed predictions, starting with the early prelim opener of Tagir Ulanbekov versus Clayton Carpenter. I'm gonna go for Tagir Ulanbekov. Don't you guys think, maybe this is just me, that this is a bit too soon for Clayton Carpenter? Like, I saw this fight get announced, I was like, okay, cool fight. But the more I've looked at this card coming up, because I have to do some research, I thought, this is a bit too soon for Clayton Carpenter. Tagir, I think, is like the 15 to 13 range. I know he's ranked. Yeah, he has to be ranked, because he beat Cody Durden, who was ranked recently. So he is ranked. He might be number 12. I'm gonna go for Tagir Ulanbekov though. I've picked him in a while. I picked Durden to beat him, but he looked great against Cody Durden. And I think that Clayton Carpenter, he's a good grappler, and he's beating good guys. I wasn't really too high on Lucas Rocha, although I do believe I picked him to beat Carpenter, but he just beat Rocha. Good performance, but I don't know. I feel like Tagir's a better striker. I feel like his striking's coming along as well. Like, he has good striking. Like, he can outpoint someone at range. What did he beat? Juan Camilo Ronderos. 2 wins against guys that aren't great, and he's getting Tagir. Maybe the UFC are just trying to get the Dagestanis on this card. Umar and Islam have tough fights, I get it, but, like, recently, I feel like they're just trying to pad out the Dagestanis a bit. I don't know why they do this with Clayton, though. He's a prospect, but I'm going to go for Tagir. I think he's got more power. I think he's a better striker, technique-wise and technicality-wise. I think he's better. And I just don't see Tagir getting out-grappled by Clayton. And Islam and Umar, I don't see him getting out-grappled here. I know he got out-grappled by Tim Elliott, but Elliott was cheating. I feel like Clayton will be clean, and Tim Elliott's a bit of a vet. He'll be cheating, doing the old-school moves and old-school tactics to win. I feel like Clayton will be clean and lose a decision here. So I'm going to go Tagir 30-27. We move on up the card. Ricky Turcios versus Bernardo Sapage. Or Sapai. But there's a J. It's like saying Anton Turcali. Like, there's literally a J, not an I. But I'm going to say Sapage. I don't care. I'm going to go for him, though. Bernardo Sapage. I keep thinking it's Bernardo, not Bernardo. Bernardo. I'm going to go for Bernardo Sapage, though. I feel like there's a B. I feel like it should be B-U-B-E-R-N, not B-E-N. Should be Bernardo. So easier. But it's Bernardo. I'm going to go for him, though. He looked good against Vinicius Oliveira. Better than Ricky Simone, in my opinion. He looked actually really good against Vinicius Oliveira than Simone did against Oliveira. And Simone's supposed to be this heavy wrestler. He beat Merab back in the day. He beat Merab Dvalishvili. And, he should be that heavy wrestler. Instead, Sapage gave Oliveira more issues. More issues on short notice. If he had a full camp, he probably beats Oliveira. You know? And unfortunately, he made one mistake and got flying kneed. Probably would have lost regardless of that, but probably would have lost a close 29-28. Respect Sapage, but he lost this, but he got flying kneed out cold. I feel like he'll learn from this. I feel like people are... If you're picking Ricky Turcios, what does he have, honestly? Even when he was good, which he really wasn't. He was just more scrappy and fought more like a man. He did all right against Rosas Jr., but, just got subbed by Rosas Jr. Oh well, he almost subbed Rosas, but Rosas' chin is too long. I don't see him almost subbing Sapaj, and I can see Sapaj having more power on the feet, more technical on the feet with a full camp. And I feel like that he will take down Turcios and submit him. So I'm actually going to go for like a first or second round. Rear naked choke win for Sapaj. I think the UFC are rewarding him like, you took on Oliveira, got flying knee, you were doing good. Here's a basic layup for you and Ricky Turcios. Yeah, I like Turcios. Sucks for him, but then to be honest, I am rooting for Turcios. He is cool, but yeah, it sucks. We move on up the card. Rinya Nakamura versus Muin Gafarov. You gotta go Rinya Nakamura. Muin Gafarov. Man, it's so cold out, man. My hands are freezing. Like, I have to just hold it. That's why I can't click any buttons right now. I'm trying to guess his last fight, because I can't really click the profile pic. I should have brought my jacket out. Why did I do that? Too late now, though. I'm going to go for Rinya Nakamura. Yeah, he beat Carlos Vera last fight. That's who he beat. Actually, I'm just going to look, because I feel like he beat Carlos Vera on short notice. Vera just kept going for dumb. He was like a Ryan Hall in that fight. And Nakamura just kept getting out of it and outstriking him. Shocked he didn't finish him, though. Will he get the finish against Muin Gafarov? Because I don't see Gafarov KOing him, finishing him, or even taking him down. Gafarov is terrible. He looks shit against Kang. I'm going to go with... I don't think he's as, like, dynamic as Saeed, though, to get the finish. So I can just see, like, a simple, boring decision where Nakamura just gets the takedowns and beats up Gafarov. Like, I think Gafarov's awful. I think he's trash, honestly. And I think that Nakamura, can be able to outstrike him. I want to see finishes out of Nakamura, though, man. I'm actually kind of just slowly hopping off the hype train. So I'm going to see how he does here. If he doesn't get the finish, I kind of don't care about him, to be honest with you. But if he does, I'm completely back on it. I do think Nakamura wins. We move on up the card. Like, finish Fernie Garcia, for fuck's sake. Carol Rosa versus Aylin Perez. I'm going to pick Aylin Perez. Are we going to forget that Carol Rosa got completely out-grappled by Sarah fucking McMahon? Who is a good wrestler for a females fighter, but, like, I know it was a bit ago now. I get it. But still, 2022. It's been 3 years, to be fair. But I just trust Aylin Perez. Like, I don't see Carol Rosa ending this hype. You know, I just don't see that. Like, I think she's a good striker, but I think you can beat her. You know, Aylin Perez, she's a really good wrestler. She's more good. There's more good things about Aylin Perez. But, you know, she can take you down. I think she's doing better at getting submissions. She got that against her last fight against Zlensikova, I think her name is. And I think she'll win. Overall, I think she'll get the job done. Over Carol Rosa. Carol Rosa, you know, beat Pani Kianzad. That girl was actually a pretty good boxer from Sweden, but she just fucking went to absolute dog shit out of nowhere. She actually was kind of good at one point. I don't know what happened to her, but I don't know. Something must have happened, because she actually was on a bit of a streak, like an actual talented contender, like the female Gustafsson. Then she just went to nothing. But lost to Aldana. Absolute war, though. Respect to them there. I never really say that, but that was actually a fucking war. Yana Santos, boring fight. Norma Dumont, scolder. Sarah McMahon out-grappled her. I don't like that. I'm going to go with Aylin Perez. I trust her to get this one done. We move on up the card. Grant Dawson versus... Oh, she's the underdog, Aylin Perez. Yeah, I'm picking Perez. I'm taking Perez there. Who else is the underdog? Gafarov is... Okay, I'm picking favorites so far. I'm taking the Perez underdog, though. I think she'll get the takedowns. Grant Dawson versus Diego Ferreira. Gotta go Grant Dawson. I mean, Diego Ferreira has shown weaknesses and has been He's just shown weakness. I'm trying to say a word, but I just can't do it today. Susceptible. Yeah, he's just shown weaknesses in errors in the grappling department. He did beat Rebecca, though. And he knocked out Johnson, but I don't see him knocking out. I think that was a fluke, honestly. I know he put Johnson out cold, but he just put Johnson out cold, though. He was losing the fight and just landed a random overhand that shut off Johnson. And then he beat Rebecca in a war, but he got the edge, finishing Rebecca. Rebecca just beat Oralby, though. But is Oralby even all that? You gotta look at that. You gotta go in patterns there. I'm gonna go with Grant Dawson, though. His fight against Bobby Green was a fluke KO loss. Until he's fighting like a real power puncher, like, oh shit, he could just get fucking killed here. I'm not gonna worry about Grant Dawson here. I think he's improving his stand-up, and I think overall if Gregor Gillespie, Beneil Dariush can out-scramble you and beat you in areas, especially Gillespie and Dariush, who beat him. Close fights, but like, I think Dawson's at that level as well. Chains at ATT, they're looking good right now. We'll get to the main event. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Grant Dawson. Getting the job done. We move on. Up the card. Zach Reese versus Cedric Demas. I'm gonna go with Zach Reese. This is an obvious one. I'm gonna go for Zach Reese. I don't think Cedric Demas is good. Zach Reese, I actually see something in Zach Reese. Like, I genuinely see something in Zach Reese where I'm like, championship one day, maybe. To where Cedric Demas, once he faces an actual good fighter, like Sultan Ruzaboev, didn't he get eye-poked in that fight and finished? Regardless, Ruzaboev put him away in the first round. I just think Sultan Ruzaboev, he is good, but Cedric got finished by him. Like, I think Zach Reese probably lose. He could beat. Nah, he would lose. I think he'd lose to Ruzaboev on size, but he doesn't get finished round one. You know, Zach Reese, I think, close decision against Abu Zaitar and Dennis Tululin. Like, I think Reese destroys these guys by finish. Beat Marquez. Didn't look good against Medina. He beat Medina, but it wasn't a good performance, though, for Reese. I think he'll finish Demas. Demas is not good, man. I don't see him out-grappling Reese, and I don't see him winning the stand-up. I'll go Reese by knockout. I'll say he straight up just puts out Demas in the first round, out cold. I think he'll just put him away. I got Zach Reese. We move on. Up the card. Jailton Almeida versus Sergey Spivak. I'm gonna go with Jailton Almeida over Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak. Man, fucking Spivak. He's been shown to be out-grappled before. I feel like the UFC are trying to see... I just nearly fucking fell. I feel like the UFC are trying to see if Spivak has good takedown defense. That's why they put him up against Tybura, who he did sub. I don't see him subbing Jailton Almeida. And I think Almeida is built stronger. He's got better physicality. Better stand-up, I'd say slightly more power. Just has that... I think he's just better everywhere slightly than Sergey Spivak. I think he is. We saw Cyril Gahn shut down the takedowns. If Cyril Gahn is shutting the takedowns of fucking Sergey Spivak, I think Almeida will as well. I'm just going to take a wild guess, guys. I'm going to go Almeida. He smoked Romanov, who's kind of like Spivak, but slightly worse. I can just see this being a first-round submission for Jailton Almeida. Fuck Jailton Almeida, though. Hope he loses, but he'll win. Actually, I hope he wins, because heavyweight needs something now. I know we got Jones Aspinall, but Gone just robbed Volkov. It's just a mess right now, so we kind of need a new name at the top that hasn't... We haven't seen Jailton Almeida against Gone yet, you know? We've seen that with Spivak, and he hasn't shown to live up to the hype, so I'm going to go for Jailton, and we move on at the card. Payne Talbot versus Hani Barcelos. Yeah, Talbot's just going to chin him. I mean, Barcelos is not good anymore. He was at one point. Thing with Barcelos, though, he doesn't really finish you. And I need you to be a guy that will shut Payne Talbot off. Like, boom, he just put away Talbot with a big KO. Like, I don't need... Like, maybe the grappling could give Talbot issues one day. And Barcelos does have sneaky good grappling. But I don't see that. He's proven to show good takedown defense. He knows how to stay safe. We saw that in the Contender Series. We did that backflip get out of a takedown. And, he's just good, Payne Talbot. He's just good. Like, he's slick on the feet. Got good kicks. Put away Simon easily. Put away Yanis Gamori easily. I know these aren't great. Simon's not bad, but Gamori. What the fuck, UFC? What a dumb fight that was. Why would you give him Gamori, who is 0-1 in the UFC? Literally shows us nothing. Gamori's a cat. But, you know, Barcelos is a guy that wants to keep it at his rhythm, at range, picking you apart. I need you to be a guy that will switch off Talbot out cold. Not just, I'm going to pick him apart and pray I don't get touched. Whilst Umar fucking KO'd me out cold. And Kyler Phillips beat him as well. So I'm actually going to go Talbot. First round KO. Like, I think Talbot's so slick. I can see something in this guy. He's really good. Put away Gamori easily. And I feel like Barcelos isn't the KO type. So I can't pick him. I'm going to go for... And he's chinny a bit as well, so... And he's older now as well. Talbot's going to win, I think. Last fought in June. Yeah, I'm guessing he's made improvements since. Wish he can fight more, though. Jeez, this is like a bit of a Bo Nickel situation. You take 6 months off after an easy win. We move on up the card. Bogdan Guskov versus Billy Elikana. Now, I've seen this Billy Elikana guy. He's stepping in for Johnny Walker, who I think Guskov would have sucked Walker. I think it's a tougher fight for Guskov. Well, I think he's going to win still. I think that this is kind of similar to a Johnny Walker, except a bit shorter and a bit of a shorter reach, which I think benefits Guskov, is where Walker could have had like a flying knee come in or takedowns. I don't think Billy Elikana is the type to get a takedown. Billy Elikana. He's too patient at range. It could work against some guys. Like, I think he can beat, like, a Daun Young. But, like... Or, like, he can beat, like, a Bruno Lopez, who just won last week. But I just don't think he's that... You know? He doesn't really have takedowns. And I think Guskov's just going to catch him over the top. I don't like him coming in short notice. Guskov trains at Extreme Couture, which is a decent gym. I feel like it's falling off, though. We'll see with Strickland and Drickus, though. Because that's the final answer to see if Extreme Couture is falling off. Because we just saw Chris Curtis lose, and we'll see. But I feel like that Guskov, he's prepared for Johnny Walker. It's not like this guy grapples much. I'm going to go for Guskov. Like, he smoked Ryan Spann, smoked Zach Puaga, lost to Ozdemir, but Ozdemir kind of grappled with him after Guskov failed to get a KO. I could see that being like this, but like a KO version, not a sub. So I'm going to go for Guskov. I think he's going to get the job done. We move on up the card. Kevin Holland versus Rainer de Ridder. Oh, this is the one time where I feel like I should pick Kevin Holland. But he's so shit. And I'm going to keep my word on that. And there's no way ONE FC's that fucking bad, right? Rainer de Ridder came from ONE FC and was a ONE FC double champ. If Kevin Holland just beats a double ONE FC champ, then I can never look at that ever again. I can't look at that the same again. Like, I know he struggled against GM3, but he still subbed him. Got the submission win. But, man, he didn't look good in that fight. Like, it's not Drickus. This is not Drickus Duplessis. This is worse by far. At least Drickus doesn't make dumb decisions. And it's hard to explain. GM3 is not great. You know, I know he's the GOAT. Obviously, we have to keep up the memes, but realistically, he's not great. I gotta go Rainer, though. I'm guessing he is gonna improve and make up for what was that debut. I'm gonna go for him. Surely he'll look better here, right? Kevin Holland lost to Roman Dolidze. You know? Lost to Dolidze. I know he got his rib hurt, but still. Bit of a turnaround for Holland. I don't know how I feel about that. 3 months later against Rainer de Ridder. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like he's just rushing in there for more money. Maybe that's just me, but I think de Ridder can get the takedown on Kevin Holland and sub him. I think he'll get the submission with like an arm triangle easy in the first round. Makhachev, I picked him to beat Holland, by the way. He nearly did, but Holland subbed him with an arm bar, whatever. He made a mistake. He dropped him, though. But de Ridder gotta get the takedown. If he stays on the feet, he's gonna get slapped. I have a real bad feeling about this, but I have to go de Ridder. Surely ONE FC double champion will beat Kevin Holland, who can't even get rankings anymore. This is going to show how shit or somewhat decent ONE FC is. We move on up the card. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. I've been back and forth on this one. Dariush has let me down a lot. I was thinking Moicano would chin him. I'm worried for Moicano, man. He's so... someday he's just going to get slapped. I'm going to be like, yep, there it is. It happened. So fucking worrying, his stand-up. I know his chin ain't great. TKZ put him away. Aldo put him away, but maybe I'm just stuck to the past. His defense has improved. I can see him getting... I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this shit correct. I can see Moicano shooting takedowns and Dariush stuffing them. Oh, he shot for a takedown. Why would you do that, Moicano? And he needs to do this against the cage, I think, as well. If he does this in the open, it won't do well for him. Get to the cage, shoot for a takedown. Dariush stuffs it, whatever. And something that Gamrot was kind of doing, but fucking doesn't do, because it's not really his style. Getting the back of Dariush. Body triangle in. And just put Dariush down and hold it on for the rest of the round while landing strikes. Tricky to do. I believe Moicano can win it. I feel like he can do it that way. I kind of just thought about that a few hours ago. I was thinking who's going to land the first shot, because both of them are kind of chinny. I think Moicano can win that as well in that way. Dariush has been out for a whole year, coming off a bad KO loss to Arman. Bad KO loss. Before that, he lost to Charles as well. And Gamrot was doing all right. It's just he got dropped and was just dumb. I'm going to go Moicano. I think he'll get the job done, having better BJJ than Gamrot does. And actually getting the back and holding a body triangle for the whole round. For 2 rounds. And then maybe Dariush has like a good third where he hurts Moicano, but too little too late for Dariush. I'm going to trust Moicano. Who's going to be motivated? More motivated for money. No pun intended, but more motivated for money. And in general, a championship title. I think it's Moicano. I'm worried about this, because Dariush could just snipe him off with one shot. And just put him out cold, and I'll just look stupid, but I'm going to go for Moicano. Look great against Moises hitting the knee. I know BSD's not great, and I do know that Dariush is better, but than BSD. He beat Dober, though. Didn't get KO'd there. Got dropped against Turner, but Turner should have... If Turner was good enough, he would have just KO'd Moicano afterwards, right? No, Moicano took him down and ground and pounded, TKO'd him. I'm going Moicano. We move on up the card. Yuri Prohaska versus Jamal Hill. Man, I could just see Yuri just somehow pulling it off while I picked Jamal Hill, and I'll regret it and feel so bad. It would be so good to pick Yuri and Yuri wins. I did that with Rakic and he actually won, and everyone picked Rakic. Why did I pick him against Rakic? Just because Rakic has no threat at all towards you other than leg kicks. And Yuri just takes leg kicks. I don't think that will work. I don't think that game time would have worked against Yuri for Rakic. And what else does Rakic have? Takedowns? That's not comfortable towards him. I don't think he's going to be comfortable doing that. It's just, I don't think he can adapt like that. And he doesn't have any power. So Yuri could walk him down and charge him and beat him by TKO. That's not going to work against Jamal Hill. First, I think Jamal Hill won't get finished by Yuri Prohaska in a 3-rounder. I don't think he'll lose to Yuri. I'm going to go Jamal Hill. I think Hill will win. I think he has 10 times the power of Rakic, 10 times the boxing of Rakic. I think that he has better cardio than Rakic. I'll actually say that with comfort. Rakic kind of breaks and fights. I think Hill has better cardio and conditioning. I know it doesn't look like it physique-wise, but he has better cardio. I think he has a better chin than Rakic. And he has a lot to lose here. I feel like Hill is going to have the best performance of his entire life. Maybe this ages badly, but I can see, with all this confidence with Pereira and that. People say, it's going to backfire, Yuri's going to win. Yuri, I feel like, until I see some improvement out of Yuri, I can't pick him ever again. Because he keeps saying, I'm going to improve to the next level. Well, do it then. Stop rushing it at the end of round 1. Love Yuri, but I have to just say it how it is. Improve. Keep your hand up. Shoot takedowns at the perfect time. You just don't do... Maybe Pereira's just that good. I get it. I completely understand. Maybe Alex Pereira's that good. And he did sleep Hill as well. But I feel like Hill's going to win. I feel like he's going to stay in there. Man, Tony's telling me Yuri's going to fucking break him and finish him. But I don't think so. I think he's going to piece up Yuri. And finish him in the first round with ease. I think he's got really good counters. Really good accuracy. I like that of Hill. And I think he's just got power enough to where Yuri will go down. And that will be the fight over. I think Hill's going to win. Yuri, I just don't... Listen, 5-rounder would be interesting. I just think Hill will snipe him. Like he sniped guys in the past. I know he couldn't finish Glover, but... He didn't finish Glover, though. But... he can finish you. And I feel like this... And Glover's a tougher fight for Hill, I think, stylistically. I've always thought Hill would beat Yuri, man. And I think he will. I think he'll beat Yuri. Yeah, I think Hill's going to win. Too much on the line. I feel like Hill would be the type of guy to win this. I feel like he would be. So I'm going to go with, I feel like he'd be a guy. I don't see, I can't speak right now. Hill's put so much pressure on himself by his own doing. He did this himself. He made a lot of excuses for the Pereira loss. I feel like this will he's doing this for a reason. I can just see him knocking out Yuri. I'm so sorry. I don't see Yuri winning this. I don't see him taking down Hill. Unless he snipes Hill out of nowhere, then he flukes it. Good job from Yuri. But he beat Reyes, who was damaged. I'm gonna go for Hill. If Yuri wins, let's fucking go. He's fucking back, but it's just... Rakic doesn't have any power or threats. Hill does. And Hill is good. It's not because Pereira's so good. Hill's good enough. Well, if you're picking Yuri, you either hate Jamal Hill that fucking much, or you're just a fucking retard. We move on up the card. It's already 30 minutes in. Fuck. I'm going to kind of speed run these last two. Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. I'm going to go for Umar over Merab. I just think here's the thing. He's funny. I'll get into it, but you're funny, Merab. You do have a personality, and you have more of one than Umar. But when it comes to fight style, I favor Umar in terms of entertainment and skill-wise, and who is the champ. I think it's Umar. I know he hasn't fought anyone good other than Sandhagen, and Sandhagen, isn't Merab in terms of skill level on the ground. Honestly, you know what? BJJ-wise, not Sandhagen. He's not really a slick guy to get a sub, but, I don't think Merab is that good, guys. And I know it's crazy to say that. And I'll make an individual prediction video for this to go more in depth. I'm going to go for Umar, man. At the end of the day, I think he is going to beat Merab. Not just because I don't like Merab. Merab is a funny guy. Alright. He is funny. I think an Umar O'Malley fight would be a dead build-up. But the fight would be absolutely amazing. This is the opposite. This guy's like Sean Strickland, man. Builds up the fight and talks all this stuff. And then just has other than Strickland against Dricus, where Strickland actually performed. But thanks to Dricus brought the fight. Other than that, Strickland doesn't have great performances. Other than against Izzy, of course, obviously. The Costa fight, though. Yeah, the war. Teeps set range. I'm going to go for Umar. Let's just stop talking that. Umar's going to win. I don't see him getting out-grappled. I don't see him getting held down by Merab. Maybe he does get taken down here and there. I just don't see it. He has Khabib. If anyone's coming in here emotional and nervous, it's Merab. And he did that to himself. Although Umar did say some stuff to him. But still, Umar, I think, is going to win. I think he has more power than Merab. I'm going to say right now he has a better chin than Merab, although we don't know yet. And he looks good in fights. Got dropped against Almacan. That's not a good look. And yes, I just said that we don't know about his chin. That was one knockdown. And I'm not going to focus that right now against Merab, he's not going to KO Umar. There's no way. That would be insane. He's not going to hold or take down Umar. Just, knee him to the thigh in that position. I know he's done it to the other guys, and it's hard to really make this breakdown because, we can't really go off of much for Umar's where Merab's fought everyone and beaten them. But in the most pathetic pussy way ever. There's no way he's going to do that to Umar. If he does, Merab's got my respect. He's probably the bantamweight GOAT. I know this will be his first defense, but, he probably is the bantamweight GOAT. But, yeah, I got Umar. Better stand-up skill-wise. I think Umar's going to win. I'll break it more down, don't worry. But Umar, I think, will win. 49-46. In a pretty stale fight where there's a few moments here and there. I think Umar's got this, man. I can see him losing the 5th round. Giving it up for Merab and then the first 4. I can just see Umar just picking him apart and stuffing the takedowns and having the cardio. necessary to keep up. Who knows, though? Maybe he doesn't. I think Umar can win. I think he can do this. I think he can do this, man. Got Khabib. Been looking great. What's his record? 18-0. Huge favorite. Plus 260 from Merab is crazy, but... Like, I get why he should be an underdog here, but I'd say, like, minus 200 at best for Umar. Like, I think that's a bit too much, seeing that Merab's beating almost everyone. But O'Malley, I don't think, was on that night. I don't think O'Malley was switched on. I'm sorry. I know you can say Cope all you want. I don't think O'Malley was switched on. We move on up the card. I got Umar. I'll break it down more, don't worry. Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan to the rematch. I'm going to go with... Oh, I wonder who's going to win, guys. Well, Arman Tsarukyan shot his way through and knock out Islam Makhachev in the rematch to become champ. The answer is no, he will not. I'm going to go Makhachev. Arman Tsarukyan's good. And I think he's going to put up a really good fight here. Like, I can see this being like a 3-2, 4-1 decision for Makhachev in a very good fight. I can see a really good scrap here. I think Makhachev's good. I think he is good, Makhachev. Or no, I think Tsarukyan's good, but Makhachev... I'm going to make I'm going to make an individual one for this as well. Don't worry. An individual breakdown. An in-depth one. Again, I don't see... This is what I come to this. I don't see Arman Tsarukyan out-grappling Islam Makhachev. Again, maybe he gets him down. I don't see him holding down Islam Makhachev in an MMA fight. I don't think he will. I don't think that he'll knock out Islam Makhachev. It's very possible. But will Arman Tsarukyan be the only guy? Will he be the man to do it? Like, I think it would be like an Ilya to Poirier. He would be a one to like, oh, I think Ilya will catch Islam. That's a valid prediction. To say that Arman Tsarukyan, just because he KO'd Beneil Dariush, for fuck's sake, means that he'll KO Islam Makhachev. He couldn't KO Joaquim Silva. I know he won it by TKO on the ground, but that was on the ground. He didn't put Joaquim Silva out with the hands. I don't see him finishing Islam Makhachev, and I don't see him winning. And I'll say this. I don't see Islam Makhachev losing to Arman Tsarukyan in a 25-minute MMA fight. I think Islam's going to win. Do I think he'll finish Arman? More than likely for Arman's chances are to finish Islam. So, yeah. I don't think so, though. I think Makhachev's going to get a decision. 49-46, 48-47. Arman puts up a very good fight. Kind of similar to the Volk first fight, except a bit more fun. That was a bit tit-for-tat at moments. Obviously. I just think Arman's going to get outmatched. I see Makhachev taking down Arman. Gamrot was able to do so. You know? And Gamrot doesn't have close to the near level of stand-up as Makhachev. Yeah, Arman couldn't KO him on the feet. Dropped him with a spinning back fist. That's all you got. And that should have won Arman the fight. If we're going to come to who won, like, skill for skill in that fight, Gamrot beat Arman. But Arman should have won because he landed a spinning back fist that landed. Gamrot, I think, is good at wrestling. But Makhachev is Makhachev. I'm going to go with him. Plus, you can say, look at the performance against Oliveira, blah, blah, blah. Styles make fights, but still, that is a factor. Oliveira didn't really open up as much, though, against Arman. Like, I think it would have been... He might have gotten dropped if he opened up more. But, we could look at the Poirier fight, which isn't a good look for Makhachev. But, you know... Poirier, you can't just say Arman smoked Poirier. Poirier... you know, I actually don't know why. It wasn't even that, people think it was close. It was 3-1 Makhachev. I say Poirier did win round 3, but there's an argument Makhachev could have gone all rounds. It's just because he had blood on his face and Poirier was screaming at him. It just looked like a fucking war. Makhachev was clearly winning. He still got a finish in the 5th round. Gritted hard. Like, he could have just won a decision. It would have been like, okay, Makhachev won a close decision. Wasn't close, though. And Poirier, that's the best version of Poirier, I think, that showed up against Makhachev. One last shot. That's actually the best version of Poirier. I say. Better than the one that showed up against Holloway. Personally, I think so. Armin's good. But yeah, I think Makhachev has more of a chance to KO Armin than Armin does him. I think Makhachev has more of a chance to sub Armin than Armin does him. And overall, I think Makhachev wins a close decision. Like, subscribe, I'll make an individual prediction video for this. This has been 40 minutes long. I'm going to try to edit this. Sorry that I'm sorry. I'm going to try to edit this. Peace.